Cuba. It was the first days of spring. The scent of the sea and the forest blended in the air, carrying a mysterious weight. The sun seemed hesitant to shine, and the clouds scattered as if trying to hide something. Lawyer Narges Alieva stood in front of the Cuba High Criminal Court at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Her upright posture and the determined expression in her eyes showed she would not be easily intimidated. Today was the first court hearing against Khizr Group, as everyone knew it. The company was on trial for tax evasion and purchasing property with forged documents. Narges, representing the employees, took her place in the courtroom. The opposing lawyer appeared, and then it was Narges's turn. Her voice was firm and cold. My clients remained silent for years because they feared losing their money if they spoke. But today, the reason for breaking that silence must be stronger than the fear of power. Silence filled the room. Someone was quietly observing her. Murad Karimli, heir of Khizr Group. He watched Narges carefully. He was certain they had never met before, yet she felt oddly familiar. The hearing ended. Narges headed for the exit, but a shadow stepped in front of her. "Lawyer," Murad said, his voice calm yet commanding. "I'm Murad Karimli. I've been watching you closely. I admire your professionalism." Without looking at him, Narges replied briefly, "Thank you. In this case, professionalism isn't enough. Only justice matters." Murad was surprised. It was rare to see a woman this firm and self-confident. He smiled. "I'd like to have a cup of coffee with you. I have a proposal." Narges looked directly into his eyes. There was something there she couldn't quite define, a silent revenge. "I like interesting proposals. But first, I'll see if you're honest," she said. The cafe table overlooked the mountains and river of Cuba. It looked calm, but a storm was hidden within. Murad, elegantly dressed, sat holding his coffee, a soft smile on his lips. His eyes, however, were fixed solely on Narges. She sat across from him, calm and serious. After a few seconds of silence, Murad began to speak. "I didn't meet you only today, Lawyer Alieva. I've heard your name often in recent years. You are someone with tough targets and a passion for winning. We parted ways with our previous company lawyer. A new era is beginning. I want you to work with us." Narges listened quietly. Outwardly calm, yet storms raged inside her. Working for this family would be like stepping into a silent labyrinth. This was only the first step. Without taking her eyes off Murad, she said, "Work together? Remember, I stood against you in court yesterday. It takes courage to make such an offer." Murad smiled softly. "There are always good lawyers. But I prefer to have them by my side." Narges tilted her head thoughtfully and asked, "And your grandfather? Does Rauf Karimli approve of such a partnership?" A few seconds of silence followed. The tension created by Rauf Karimli's name was almost tangible. "My grandfather is less involved in the company now. I make the decisions," Murad said. Narges pressed her lips lightly and thought to herself, "No, everything is still at his fingertips." "But finally," she smiled and stood up, "I'll think about it. But remember, Mr. Murad, I only work with the strong. And with the just." Without looking back, she left the cafe. Murad stared at the empty coffee cup in front of him, deep in thought. This woman is different, strong and dangerous. Khizr Group Building, Istanbul. The building stood in one of Istanbul's tallest office complexes. Its logo, a lion's head, proudly adorned the wall. Stepping inside was the first step of the plan Narges Alieva had been waiting for years to put into motion. The first day Narges entered the building, she noticed the reactions immediately. Everyone was watching her. The lawyer who had gone to court against our company was now here, but Narges walked with her head held high, eyes straight ahead, approaching the session with unwavering determination. "Hello, Lawyer Narges Alieva. I have a meeting with Murad," she said. Murad met her on the 20th floor. Alone. Neither his grandfather nor the other shareholders were present. Murad was simply yet elegantly dressed. Narges smiled faintly at the sight of him. "Welcome, Narges." It's good to see you among us. Nargis nodded. I'm here, even if temporarily. There's no room for emotions in my work. Her secret investigation began. Files for internal correspondence were unlocked under the pretext of setting up a new system. Murad gave her full trust. But Nargis had another plan. She began examining the company's past. A tragedy had struck her family. In the files, she immediately noticed a name, MA Real Estate Management. It was her grandfather Rauf Karimli's secret shell company. Some files had been deleted. Others were renamed. At that moment, Nargis realized someone had taken care to erase traces of her. Yet, like every guilty party, they had left something behind. Her first contact with Murad, a game within a game. One evening, as Nargis prepared to leave the office, Murad opened the door. You stayed late today. Everything okay? Nargis smiled faintly, but inside there was a dark silence. The past was complicated, tangled like a maze. Murad was surprised. What do you mean? Nargis stared at him. Some documents are missing, some years are incomplete. Maybe it's time to open the old files. Nargis's past, a woman driven by revenge. 20 years ago, it was a sunny spring morning. Nargis was still a child. Her mother's belly was large, a brother was soon to be born. Her mother, her brother, uncle, aunt, and cousin had gone to a wedding. Nargis stayed with her grandfather. Her grandfather was a police officer, staying in the city for work. But none of them returned from that wedding. There had been a car accident. There were no signs that the driver had fled. Official reports claimed the brakes had failed, but Nargis's grandfather, Ali Bey, did not believe it. Ali spent years investigating. Evidence was destroyed, but suspects remained. About a month before the accident, a client had revealed a confidential case. Only one name appeared in the files, Murad A. Ali discovered that the accident was actually the work of Rauf Karimli. Years later, the truth emerged. The driver responsible for the crash was Rauf Karimli himself. Very few knew it had not been an accident. When Nargis learned the truth, she made a decision. I survived because I didn't go with them. I will become a lawyer. Not just with the law, but with my intelligence and strength. I will navigate the family from within, uncover everything, and take my revenge through justice. Back to 2025. Looking at the company archive files, Nargis whispered, Istanbul, your dark secrets. Rauf Karimli, one will destroy you before my eyes. If you're curious about the rest of the story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leaving a like or a comment really helps these stories reach more people. Thank you to everyone watching from Turkey, Germany, and Azerbaijan. I'll see you in the next story.